What's up, everybody? I am in Washington, D.C. now for the Nationals game for the World Series. I am so excited. Me and my friend have tickets to tomorrow night's game. He's in town, but his family lives here. He's hanging out with them. And I just want to be in the mix of everything. So I'm actually going to go into town, go to like some cool restaurants near the stadium, and enjoy the game with all the fans there. Very tempted to buy a ticket for tonight's game as well, but they're quite expensive, so maybe one is good enough, I guess, for this World Series. But your team doesn't get to the World Series too often, so you got to take advantage of it. I'm very excited, very happy to be here. Got a pretty cool hotel, kind of a swank, cool, hip place. It's called the Pod, P-O-D-D-C, Pod DC. Anyway, I like it. Trip down to Texas was phenomenal, super successful. We had events all over the country this last few days. It was very stressful, but very fun and very eventful and very successful. So this was the bridge that Selena sat on. I don't know if these clowns were in the movie or not, but look at these three Selenas. Everything was cool there. I'll show a little slideshow of some pictures. We went down to the Alamo, went to the Riverwalk in San Antonio and some different cool stuff. Went into Austin and hung out with a friend and went and did some to this amazing barbecue place. The name of the place is Terry Black's Barbecue in Austin, Texas. It was absolutely phenomenal. A good friend of mine who lives there in Austin showed it to me, and a group of us went. It was phenomenal. It's delicious, melt in your mouth type good. Brisket was falling apart as you picked it up. So it's been an eventful week. It's been very busy, but very fun. And tonight I'm gonna go have some fun at the game. Well, at a restaurant to watch the game with a bunch of other fans. Should be fantastic. And this video will not include the game that I'm going to Sunday night because it's gonna come out before Sunday night. But just know that when you're watching this, I will be at the World Series, Game 5 in Washington, D.C. Go Nats. Here's my room. It's small. These big city hotels always have smaller rooms just because they gotta cram a bunch of stuff into a small area. But it is pretty nice, pretty swank. Big, nice TV. I'll be here for just a couple nights, but this is it. This is home for a couple days. It's here in Chinatown. Not too far from the White House and stuff, actually. It's pretty cool, called the Pod. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my Uber here.
Hand out slowly, saying just one at a time. That's right. That's right. Gotta conserve your Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Well, it is not going our way. Down 8-1, so I bought a ticket on my phone at the very last second. And here I am on the very front row. Hopefully we'll come back. We've got 2 innings left. Nationals Park really is, though, one of the absolute ballparks in the entire country. So the ticket that I bought said row D, so I just assumed it was like row 4, you know, A, B, C, D, and I just kept walking down and down and down, and lo and behold, the front row happened to be row D, and so I was on the front row for the whole game. It was super fun. I just wish we could have had a better outcome. I was here, it was fun, it was an experience, and that's what I'm all about, is experiences. So we'll see you again tomorrow night. Patrick Corbin pitched tonight, did not do well. Sean Doolittle was the closer, he did not pitch tonight, so we didn't want to waste his energy. Scherzer, arguably our best, pitches tomorrow. Strasburg, also arguably our best and definitely my favorite, pitches game 6. Zimmerman plays first base, and then Anthony Rendon at the end. By the way, these guys are all pitchers. I don't think I mentioned that. But yeah, Corbin, Doolittle, Scherzer, and Strasburg. All pitchers. Beautiful, right? So just leaving church now. I always try and go to church when I'm out of town. It's really fun. And I actually just sat in on as a deaf branch, an American Sign Language branch, where everything was in sign language. And they had a translator there for me, so I could understand what was going on. But it was really, really cool to see singing in sign language and speaking in sign language and everything for an entire meeting. It's pretty incredible, pretty impressive. Beautiful neighborhood it's in too. Gonna go check out the National Mall now, some of the monuments, and we'll go from there. Our nation's capital, looking nice and pretty. It was raining earlier today, now it's super beautiful. Look at these skies. It's actually nice and warm. Man, we got the Washington Monument there. I'll go check it out. This is cool because this is where I grew up. I love it. Yeah, this is very cool to be here. There's the Capitol right in the background, and Washington Monument there. Pretty awesome though. This is where I grew up as a kid. That's why I'm a Nationals fan. So we were born, me and my siblings. Well, me and Brandon was actually born in Utah, in Provo, but when he was like 1, my parents moved to Virginia because my dad was getting his master's degree at George Washington University, which is here in Washington, D.C. So we became big Redskins fans, and we were Oriole fans back then. The Baltimore Orioles were the Major League Baseball team, but as soon as the Nationals moved to D.C., and they used to be the Montreal Expos, by the way, but as soon as the Nationals moved to D.C., I was an immediate fan of the Washington Nationals. In Utah, we don't have the NFL or Major League Baseball, so it was easy for me to want to jump on board with the cool team, so I did, and here we are. But we used to come here as kids. My parents would bring us here, and I remember we'd play football on these lawns here between the monuments and stuff. This is called the National Mall. So from the Capitol building behind me there, look, I'm touching the Capitol. That's kind of cool. All the way down past the Washington Monument to the Lincoln Memorial, which I will take you to. We would just play on these fields, play football, have family picnics. It was just kind of something we do every now and then, just come and enjoy the, sorry, my hair's all over the place, it's windy and I didn't look at this hair. But we would just come and enjoy the history here in DC. And my parents lived here for 13 years. I was here till I was 9. I have been here many, many times, and I'm not gonna lie, it's usually got some sort of construction going on around it and stuff. Beautiful right now, totally clear and open. Always fun looking at the people trying to get the different ideas of how to take the picture and make it unique. America the Beautiful, baby. Such an iconic structure, I love it. We used to call this the giant pencil when I was a kid, because to us it looked like a pencil sticking straight up into the air. Okay, now I'm standing at the Washington Monument. We've got the Capitol building down there. And then out this way, you've got the famous pond there, down to the Lincoln Memorial, which I will go down to. Look how beautiful that is. Amazing. Hey, I'm walking up. Oh, it's very bright. Look at this. I don't know how tall this thing is, but it is tall. Woo! Way up there. And here we have the White House. President Donald Trump lives there. So this is the World War II Memorial. Each of the columns behind me represents one of the states. So I gotta face this way so I can actually open my eyes. Yeah, all of the columns back here, they all go around and represent the states. So this one here is the Atlantic side. And then over there, that big one over there, bam, right there, says Pacific on it. So pretty beautiful through here, the World War II Memorial. Here we mark the price of freedom.
Freedom Wall holds 4,048 gold stars. Each gold star represents 100 American service personnel who died or remained missing in the war. 405,339 American dead and missing from World War II are second only to the loss of more than 620,000 Americans during our Civil War. That's what that is, the price of freedom.
Okay, one of my favorites is actually across the way, across the water. It's the Jefferson Memorial. Looks like it's under quite a bit of construction. Not gonna bother going over there because it takes a while, and clearly it's under construction, but there it is right there. So between the monuments, you can walk kind of along the sidewalk there, along the pond, or you can come down this beautiful tunnel of trees. It is very hot today, so I'm taking this route in the shade. Plus, it's kind of a unique shot that you don't see often. As you can see, everybody walks out there. But this is actually where the cherry blossoms are in full effect every spring that you see on TV and in pictures and stuff. It's beautiful, beautiful area. Famous Forrest Gump scene through here. So while I walk, figured we could chat more. Do you guys prefer big cities where there's a subway? For instance, I love big cities that have a nice metro, which DC has a fantastic metro, obviously New York. There's cities all over the world, you know, London, Shanghai, that have just phenomenal metros or subway systems for fantastic public transportation, easy to get around everywhere. Utah is not one of those places at all. It's decent, it's growing, but the city is also not, you know, necessarily big enough to need it. So I'm curious, do you guys prefer that, or do you prefer suburbs? What do you like best? Do you use public transportation? Do you have your own car? Because there's a part of me that just craves this kind of thing, craves being around all these people in this amazing city, and then there's part of me that really enjoys being in Utah, having my own space, having my own car that I can use wherever I want and park wherever I want. But then I go to cities like Chicago, and it's just, you can't park anywhere, but it's just so nice to be surrounded by so many fun people. But I think it's more maybe of a vacation thing for me. I can never decide, because there are pros and cons to both for sure. So I'm curious, what do you guys prefer? Where do you live? What do you like best? Cool shot here from the base of the Lincoln Memorial down to the Washington Monument and all the way past onto the Capitol building. Forrest Gump Pond, as a lot of people know it. And then boom, Lincoln Memorial. Let's go check it out. Have you guys been to DC? Comment below if you have been here. Comment below too your favorite big city in the world. I do love it here. And it's amazingly beautiful. I'm hot. I'm in this sweatshirt sweating right now. Maybe that's why they call it a sweatshirt. But it's like high 70s and sunny, a little bit humid, and I'm in a sweatshirt and jeans with a raincoat, so not ideal. I'm gonna have to go change.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this whole.
So we got Dave sitting there, and in the temple, they actually have the Gettysburg Address on the wall, 407 years ago. This is basically what helped bring slavery and the Civil War to an end, that side as well.
amazing, magnificent pose that they're doing out there to the Washington Monument. Very busy today, as you can see. I actually remember sitting on these big, right here, kind of these really bigger steps as a kid, and eating KFC with the fam. But yeah, I'm on the backside of the Lincoln Memorial, and across the river here is the Arlington Cemetery, and then, where's the bridge? There's the bridge. And then right there, and I'll flip the camera around so you can see it better, but that's the Robert E. Lee House, and he was basically the leader of the South. He was the war general in charge of the South during the Civil War, and his house looked right across the river at the White House, where the leader of the North was, the President of the United States, when there was a major dissension. So that's kind of a cool fact. Okay, so we're gonna try and zoom in so I can show you the Robert E. Lee House. There it is, right up there on the top in the middle. Okay, well that's it for today. I will be at tonight's game, Game 5 of the World Series. I'll be sure and film some stuff as best I can. You get so caught up in the moment, you want to make sure you enjoy it, so I don't capture everything, but thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. And please share, like, comment, all of the above. I love you guys, and hope you enjoyed this little tour of DC, as well as a teeny bit from the trip to the Alamo and stuff there in San Antonio, and a little bit of Game 4 last night. So.